Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will embark on a journey through the Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri. The Divine Comedy, written by Dante Alighieri between 1308 and 1320, is one of the greatest masterpieces of world literature. This epic poem is divided into three parts: Inferno, Hell; Purgatorio, Purgatory; and Paradiso, Paradise. Each part represents a stage of Dante's spiritual journey from sin and despair to redemption and divine enlightenment. The poem is written in the first person, with Dante himself as the protagonist, guided by the Roman poet Virgil and later by Beatrice, his idealized love. Dante explores themes of sin, justice, divine love, and salvation in a work that blends theology, philosophy, and poetry into an unforgettable vision of the afterlife. Plot summary. Inferno. Dante begins his journey lost in a dark, terrifying forest, symbolizing the confusion and moral corruption in his life. As he tries to escape, three beasts, a leopard, a lion, and a she-wolf, block his path, representing the sins of lust, pride, and avarice. Just when despair takes hold, the Roman poet Virgil appears, sent by divine forces to guide Dante through hell, and later, purgatory. Together, they enter the gates of hell, inscribed with the haunting warning, "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here." They first arrive at the vestibule of hell, where the souls of the indifferent are condemned. These are the souls of people who lived without committing to either good or evil and are stung eternally by insects while chasing an elusive banner. Beyond this, they cross the river Acheron, ferried by Charon, into the first circle of hell, Limbo. Here reside virtuous non-Christians and unbaptized souls. Though they suffer no physical torment, these souls, including classical philosophers and poets, live in eternal longing, forever separated from God's grace. Deeper into hell, Dante and Virgil enter the second circle, where the lustful are swept about by a violent storm, their punishment mirroring their inability to control their passions in life. Dante speaks with Francesca da Rimini, who tells of her tragic affair. As Dante descends through the third, fourth, and fifth circles, he witnesses the gluttonous, the avaricious, and the wrathful suffering for their earthly excesses. The gluttonous are battered by freezing rain, the greedy push massive weights in a futile battle, and the wrathful fight each other endlessly in the swamp of the river Styx. They arrive at the gates of the city of Dis, which marks the division between upper hell and lower hell. Here, fallen angels and furies block their passage, but a divine messenger arrives to open the gates. Inside, they enter the sixth circle, where heretics lie trapped in fiery tombs, eternally tormented for denying God's teachings. The journey continues into the seventh circle, where those who committed acts of violence are punished. This circle is divided into three rings. The first houses murderers and tyrants, submerged in a river of boiling blood. The second holds suicides, who are transformed into gnarled trees and torn by harpies. The third punishes blasphemers, who suffer under a rain of fire. Dante and Virgil then descend into the eighth circle, known as Malebulge, where fraud is punished. The ditches here are filled with hypocrites, thieves, and corrupt politicians suffering various gruesome punishments. Finally, they reach the ninth circle, where traitors are frozen in a lake of ice, reflecting the coldness of their betrayal. At the center of hell, Dante finds Lucifer himself, trapped in ice and eternally chewing on the three greatest traitors: Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Christ, and Brutus and Cassius, who betrayed Julius Caesar. Virgil and Dante climb down Lucifer's body, passing through the center of the earth, and emerge on the other side, ready to begin their ascent toward redemption. Purgatorio. Emerging from hell, Dante and Virgil find themselves at the base of Mount Purgatory, a towering mountain on an island in the southern hemisphere. Unlike hell, Purgatory is a place of hope and purification, where souls seek redemption through repentance and spiritual cleansing. The mountain is divided into different terraces, each dedicated to purging a particular sin. These souls suffer, but unlike the damned in hell, their suffering is temporary, and they endure it with the hope of eventually reaching heaven. Before they begin their ascent, Dante and Virgil encounter souls in the anti-purgatory, those who delayed their repentance or died by violence without receiving last rites. These souls must wait before they can begin their purification. Among them, Dante meets several figures who share insights into their lives and the nature of their suffering. As they begin their climb up the mountain, the terraces of Purgatory represent the 7 deadly sins, each being purged in stages. In the first terrace, the proud carry heavy stones on their backs to humble them, while in the second terrace, the envious have their eyes sewn shut as they learn to appreciate the good fortune of others. In the third terrace, the wrathful wander in thick smoke that clouds their vision, mirroring the blinding effects of anger in life. In the fourth terrace, the slothful are forced to run continuously, making up for the time they wasted on earth. The fifth terrace houses the avaricious and prodigal, who lie face down on the ground, symbolizing their attachment to earthly wealth. The gluttonous in the sixth terrace suffer from constant hunger and thirst, unable to satisfy their appetites. Finally, the lustful are purified in the seventh terrace, walking through walls of fire to burn away their desires. As Dante ascends, he encounters the soul of the poet Statius, who joins them for the remainder of the journey. Statius, having completed his purification, is now ready to enter heaven. They eventually reach the earthly paradise or Garden of Eden at the mountain's summit. Here, Dante is greeted by Beatrice, who will be his guide through heaven. Before they can proceed, Dante must drink from the rivers Lethe and Juno to cleanse his memory of sin and strengthen his virtues. His soul now purified, Dante is ready for the final stage of his journey. Paradiso. Beatrice leads Dante upward through the 9 celestial spheres of heaven, each corresponding to different virtues and the souls who embodied them in life. As they ascend, the light and joy of heaven grow more intense, and Dante's understanding of divine love and wisdom deepens. The journey through paradise is marked by a growing sense of spiritual enlightenment, as Dante is exposed to the harmonious workings of the universe and God's infinite love. The first sphere, the moon, is home to souls who were unable to keep their vows due to external circumstances. Here, Dante learns about the importance of faithfulness and free will. The second sphere, Mercury, holds those who pursued fame and ambition but still acted righteously. In Venus, the third sphere, reside souls who were motivated by love. As Dante ascends higher, the virtues become more elevated, with the fourth sphere, the sun, housing the wise and learned, and the fifth sphere, Mars, being the abode of those who sacrifice themselves for their faith. The sixth sphere, Jupiter, is reserved for just rulers, while the seventh sphere, Saturn, houses contemplatives who devoted their lives to spiritual reflection. In each sphere, Dante encounters souls who explain the nature of their blessedness and how they reflected divine virtue during their earthly lives. In the eighth sphere, the fixed stars, Dante beholds a vision of Christ and the Virgin Mary, surrounded by saints and angels. Here, he undergoes a final examination of faith, hope, and charity before ascending to the ninth sphere, the primum mobile, the source of all motion in the universe. This sphere represents the pure love of God, which moves all creation. Finally, Dante reaches the Empyrean, the highest realm of heaven, where he is granted a vision of God. He beholds the divine essence, a perfect union of love and light, and experiences a moment of profound spiritual unity. In this final vision, Dante understands the mysteries of the universe and the harmony of God's plan. His journey ends with his soul filled with divine love, and though his vision fades, he returns to earth with the knowledge of the ultimate truth. That's it for now. If you enjoyed this, check out other books by Dante Alighieri. You'll find them in the description or just search for them on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Dante Alighieri's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.